Previously on X-Men.
Xmen97, episode 7, Bright Eyes, starts with the funeral of Gambit, who apparently died in episode 5, and also was reminded that he died in episode 6. So we'll see if he stays dead. Kurt Wagner, or Nightcrawler, gave a very moving sermon or speech at his funeral. It's overcast and raining. We see Belladonna and some of the members of the Thieves Guild at his funeral. And we see Jubilee being upset, saying, why isn't she here? Turns out that Rogue didn't attend the funeral. Rogue first went after Henry Gyrick. And she went through a few places to try and find him. First, she went through a military base where they said that the base was made to hold the Hulk, and Rogue pointed out that just because you have a prison that's hard to break out of doesn't mean it's hard to break into. After that, she finds Captain America, and Captain America says that he's also chasing Garrick to try and come to a conclusion as to who led the mutant massacre. So Rogue says, okay, so can you... And Captain America says that they think he's in Mexico. So Rogue says, can you come with me? And Captain America says that he can't. He needs to make sure everything's above board before he acts. And so Rogue gets very upset and says, well, you don't need the shield right now. And so she threw the shield a very far distance. She meets Garrick in Mexico, and Garrick says, tell Scott Summers that Jean Grey's mind manipulation won't work anymore. And Rogue says, well, that's not what we're going to try, and touches him to get all of his memories to find out where Trask is. For some reason, this actually makes Rogue knocked out, which is a weird side effect I haven't seen before. But she gets weak, and Nightcrawler comes to her. The X-Men, meanwhile, were trying to do a recovery at Genosha, saying that it's been days since they've recovered anyone new. We see President Kelly saying that he himself can't send any more help, or can't be seen helping the mutants, because if he gets too close to mutants at this point in time, then someone who hates mutants more than him may end up winning the presidency. On Genosha, they find Emma Frost in her diamond form, and Beast says that this must be a secondary mutation. We see Beast and the reporter having a moment, and Beast gets upset as she misspeaks, saying that humans are scared of mutants because mutants are rioting. I think this episode dealt with loss and grief and even romance much better than the previous episode. Like, it's believable that Beast and the reporter are flirting. It's believable that Beast is upset. It's believable that Rogue is very angry. It's believable that Cyclops is also very torn apart, with Madeline possibly dead. And it's believable that Jean Grey is feeling the psychic echoes of all the death. After that, after the X-Men, Nightcrawler, and Rogue come together, they head off to where Trask is. No, they don't head off to where Trask is. Trask himself actually sends a message to the X-Men saying he's in Madripoor, so come and meet him. So all the X-Men go to Madripoor, and Trask was about to kill himself, and Rogue catches him
Now don't do
and says,
Mr. Sinister.
before you go, like, let me know, is there anything else you can tell us? And he says, no, that's all I know. And Rogue lets him go. This is very concerning to many of the X-Men. So there was a talk as to whether or not this is going to be resolved by time travel.
Easy boy.
It doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved by time travel, but this is pretty harsh, pretty serious and hardcore by Rogue to actually kill someone that way.
What have you done?
All wanted to do.
But Trask actually doesn't die. He turns into a Prime Sentinel, which is a human that can turn into a Sentinel. And we see the Sentinels in the earlier episodes where Child's Play, where the X-Men were well able to defeat them. But Trask as a Sentinel is manhandling the X-Men one after another. And it takes Cable to show up to says that an electromagnetic grenade, I think he called it, is how the best way to deal with Prime Sentinels. And after that, we see Mr. Sinister and Bastion talking. Mr. Sinister seems to be talking to Bastion like he runs the place. I don't think he quite understands the full range of the power dynamics that's going on there, but whatever. Mr. Sinister is upset that Bastion used Trask and as an experiment, and he says the X-Men are going to learn from this encounter. And Bastion is like, yeah, but like, I'm also learning. And then the episode ends.
The X-Men will learn from this too, you blithering fool. You should have waited until rollout.
Until we see Bastion shaving Magneto. So we do have confirmation Magneto is still alive. Thank you and have a good day.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky, but one long
Nifty bop, right? But heat, like music, it softens things.